For this video, we're going to talk about the industry sectors and how they've changed over time, and what industry sector we're moving into. So the primary sector is working with those natural resources. So that would be sort of your agriculture. So if you imagine sort of like a wheat farmer, the sort of product of this industry is sort of raw materials. So we think of wheat, that would be the raw material that would be grown on the farm. That is the product of the primary sector. That wheat would then go to a mill to be turned into flour, and that would be the secondary industry, sort of that manufacturing of goods. And then the flour, that product, as a result of the secondary industry, would go to the tertiary industry, the baker, and that baker would turn that flour into bread or muffins and then sell that good out to the people. So that's sort of an example of the different industries. Now, we are moving away greatly from the primary sector, especially here in Canada, from farming and fishing and mining and forestry. Those were sort of the primary industries, especially during colonization. But as sort of those resources the land has sort of been taking up for residents and people, that we're moving away from agriculture and that primary industry. And the secondary industry, we're moving a little bit away because we have machines and technology and computers that are replacing people. So where people would actually be doing the work in the factories, in the warehouses, we now have machines. They cost less, they can run 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and you don't have to pay benefits, and you can just replace them really quickly. And then we're moving on to the tertiary, which is jobs related to services. And this is moving towards that information age. So instead of being the baker and selling something in a store, it's about information and technology and meeting those needs and trends in that area. So which is called, the trend is moving towards the knowledge worker, and literacy skills are really important because being able to adapt and learn and adjust requires high literacy and comprehension skills. So what is a knowledge worker? So Stats Canada in the early 2000s was saying that 1 in 4 people at that time was a knowledge worker. So that's where you're working with information. You're not actually working with a product or a thing. So here are some examples, right? So engineering, investigation, publishing, advertising, data research and collection, law, lab research, lab technicians, and education. So moving more towards that information age and that knowledge worker, you can see how those literacy skills are very important. Being able to read and understand information as it's taken in, and then being able to communicate that information out. And this is the direction that industry is going in. Why is it happening? Well, technology. And technology is happening very quickly. There's big changes in technology, huge advancements, and it's constant. And so with that change in technology, the technicians have to change. They have to adapt, they have to learn, they have to sort of understand new concepts as they're coming. So computer skills and literacy skills are definitely benefits for a worker working in the information age.